Story 1. The Cursed Video Game. I found an old video game at a garage sale. The seller warned me that it was cursed. Thinking it was just a joke, I bought it for a few bucks. That night, I decided to play it. The game was strange, with eerie music and disturbing graphics. As I progressed, the game characters started calling me by my real name. They knew details about my life that I had never shared online. I tried to turn it off, but the screen froze with a message: "You can't escape." The characters began to whisper my name, growing louder and louder. I finally unplugged the console in terror. The whispers stopped, but my reflection on the TV screen smiled back at me. Now, every time I turn on any electronic device, I hear the whispers, getting closer and closer. Story 2. The Forgotten Doll. When I was little, my grandmother gave me an old porcelain doll. It was beautiful, but I always felt uneasy around it. I stored it in the attic, hoping to forget about it. Years later, while cleaning the attic, I found the doll again. Its eyes seemed to follow me. That night, I heard footsteps outside my bedroom door. I thought it was my parents, but when I checked, no one was there. The doll was sitting on my dresser, though I was sure I had left it in the attic. I threw it in the trash, but the next morning, it was back on my dresser. Its once sweet face now wore a sinister grin. I buried it in the backyard, but now I hear whispers at night, calling me to dig it up. Story 3. The Abandoned Hospital. My friends and I decided to explore an abandoned hospital. It was supposed to be fun, an adventure. As soon as we entered, the temperature dropped. We split up to cover more ground. I wandered into an old operating room. The equipment was rusty and covered in dust. Suddenly, the lights flickered and I heard a faint cry for help. I followed the sound to a locked door. As I peered through the small window, I saw a figure on an operating table, pleading for help. Terrified, I ran to find my friends. We decided to leave, but the exit was blocked. The hospital seemed to change its layout, trapping us inside. Whispers filled the air, and shadows moved in the corners of our eyes. We finally found a way out, but as we escaped, I felt a cold hand grasp my shoulder. Now, every time I close my eyes, I see the figure on the table, begging for help. Story 4. The Vanishing Train. I took the late-night train home after visiting a friend. The train was nearly empty, with just a few other passengers. At the next stop, the lights flickered and suddenly, I was the only one left on the train. The landscape outside had changed to a desolate, eerie wasteland. Panic set in as I tried to find the conductor, but there was no one around. I pressed the emergency stop button, but the train kept moving. Finally, the train slowed to a halt at an abandoned station. I stepped off, hoping to find help, but the station was deserted. As I turned to get back on the train, it vanished, leaving me stranded. I wandered the empty station, trying to find an exit, but every door led me back to the platform. Now, I'm stuck in this endless loop, unable to escape the ghostly station. Each night, I hear the distant whistle of the train, but it never comes to rescue me.